Hello guys, today we are going to discuss the Legal Framework Order in 1970. Guys, this Legal Framework Order, it was a constitutional document, or we can say that it was a proposal for the future constitution. You know that on 25th March 1969, the Constitution of 1962 was abrogated by the General Yahya Khan, who became the new president of Pakistan and the chief martial law administrator. On 25th March, a, a martial law replaced a martial law. The martial law regime, which was started in 1958 by Ayub Khan, came to an end on 25th March 1969. We do have a separate lecture on the downfall of Ayub Khan and on Ayub period as well. And if you want to learn the background of this legal framework order, and if you want to know why Ayub Khan or how Ayub Khan's period came to an end, you may subscribe to our channel and visit that clip as well. So guys, come back to the legal framework order. This was a constitutional proposal. This was given by General Yahya Khan, and this some ground rules were set for the future constitution. Let's have a brief introduction. In a broadcast on 28 March 1970, Yahya announced the Legal Framework Order, or LFO 1970. And this was gazetted on 30th March 1970, or on 30th March 1970 this Legal Framework Order, or LFO 1970, was included in the Statute of Pakistan. What was this? This was a basic principle, or it was some sort of basic principles for the future constitution of Pakistan. It was said that what type of constitution will be made in Pakistan, or what are the things that we will include in the future constitution, and what are the things that we will exclude from the constitution that's going to become the future constitution of Pakistan. Since at that time you know that it was a constitutional vacuum. Pakistan had no constitution at that time. The constitution of 1962, though it was a rigid constitution, not a popular constitution, but that was also abrogated on 25th March. And after its abrogation, Pakistan had no constitution, and to run the affairs of the country, or to run the day-to-day business of the state, Yahya Khan had given some ground rules, and he had given some basic principles for the future constitution of Pakistan. That's called the LFO 1970. The constitution, what was said in this legal framework order? The first point was the constitution will protect the Islamic ideological basis of the country. You know guys that Pakistan came into being in 1947 on the basis of Islamic ideology. That's a country, a state was established for implementing the Islamic principles. And he proposed that the future constitution will protect that Islamic ideological nature of the country. And further, he proposed that the constitution would guarantee the independence, geographical frontiers, and integrity of the country. That is, he said that the future constitution will be the guardian of the country, the custodian of the country, and this will make sure that the independence, geographical frontiers, and the integrity of the country is safeguarded. And the third point, he said that the constitution will provide a federal system of government in which all provinces will enjoy full autonomy. Guys, those who are not aware about the federal system, we do have a separate lecture on this federal system, or generally speaking, on the federal system of a government. Please do subscribe to our channel and visit that clip as well. On this point, I will just give you a brief explanation of federal system. Federal system is such a type of system of government in which the powers of central government and the provincial governments are clearly divided. It is clearly said that this subject belongs to the central government and this subject belongs to the federal and to the provincial government. Right? There's a clear division of powers between central government and the provincial governments. And it was further said that in this system, provinces will be given full autonomy. They will enjoy full autonomy. They will be given all those rights that that are suitable to give to a province in a federal system, keeping in the mind that the integrity of the country is maintained, right? The maximum autonomy will be given to the provinces. You know why it was said? Because if you have visited the previous lectures, if you have watched the lectures on the downfall of Ayub Khan and various other lectures that are related to the 1960s, we heard echoes of constitutional autonomy from East Pakistan especially. The East Pakistan was pressing federal government to gain more provincial autonomy. They had reservations that federal government is curbing their rights and they are not giving them, or to some extent they were saying that the federal government is prosecuting them. So in order to give a valid response to their reservations, Yahya Khan had said that the future constitution will be a federal constitution and it will give all provinces full autonomy. And it was said that the future constitution will be a democratic constitution and elections on adult franchise will be held in the country. I hope guys you know what type of constitution is called democratic constitution and what are elections and adult franchise. And if you want to know more about these terminologies, we do have lectures on all of them. And please visit those lectures as well. Democratic constitution means a constitution that provides a democratic system of government, right? When we say democratic system of government, the elections are vital to that. Elections, it's a process of electing the representatives. An adult franchise, it is the universal franchise or the universal suffrage system, in which you give right of vote to everyone in the state, regardless of their color, creed, religion, language, or anything. Everybody is given the right of vote, the right to vote, right? If everyone is given the right to vote, subjected to a minimum age qualification, that is, if he achieved that much age, 18 years, 19 years, 20 or 21 years, right? And if after that everybody has the right to cast vote, that's called universal suffrage or adult franchise. And it was proposed in this legal framework or order that the future constitution of Pakistan will be a democratic constitution and the elections will be held on adult franchise, that nobody will be discriminated and nobody will be unqualified for casting his vote on the basis of any subsidiary merit criteria like religion, sex, color, creed, or anything, right? And the fifth point, he proposed a National Assembly as a legislature for the country, and he proposed that there will be total 313 seats in the National Assembly. Out of these 313 seats, 13 seats will be reserved for women, and remaining 300 seats will be general seats on which everybody will be allowed to contest elections. And for provincial assemblies, he proposed a different number of seats for different provinces on the basis of their population. For example, he proposed 300 seats for East Pakistan, since it was the largest province by population. Almost 54% of the Pakistani population was living in East Pakistan. He proposed 310 seats for the Provincial Assembly of East Pakistan, and out of these 310 seats, 10 seats were reserved for women. Similarly, in Punjab, he proposed 186 seats, and out of these 186 seats, 6 seats were reserved for women. And in Sindh, he proposed 62 seats, and he said that out of these 62 seats, 2 seats will be reserved for women. And in Balochistan, 21 seats, and out of these 21 seats, 1 seat was reserved for women. Remember guys, on this day, Balochistan was given the full provincial status. Before that, there were no electoral reforms in the Balochistan. Balochistan was a province, but not a full province, because there was the electoral reforms were not introduced there. Elections were not arranged in Balochistan. Rather, till then we don't or the Pakistan had not arranged any general elections. The first general elections were held in 1970. We do have a lecture on that as well. If you want to watch, you can on our channel. And for come back to the LFO on Balochistan. For Balochistan, he had proposed 21 seats, and he said that out of these 21 seats, 1 seat was reserved for women. And in NWFP, or for NWFPs rather, he had proposed 42 seats, and out of these 42 seats, 2 seats were reserved for women. NWFP, Northwest Frontier Province, it's currently called KPK, or that's mean Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This name NWFP was changed in 2010 through 18th Amendment. And guys, again, if you want to know something more about 18th Amendment, this is a major, a very important constitutional amendment in the 1973 Constitution. If you want to know more about that, please visit our lecture on the 18th Amendment to the Constitution of Pakistan as well. And for NWFP Provincial Assembly, 42 seats were proposed, and out of these 42 seats, 2 seats were reserved for women. So in this way, General Yahya Khan gave a framework or some basic ground rules for the future constitution of Pakistan. I hope guys this video was helpful for you. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video and press bell icon. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.